Oh, feels like I'm late for something. Oh, shoot. What's up, YouTube? I'm back. It's been a minute. 6 months to be not quite exact, but to give a rough estimate. So, sorry for not uploading this video on time. I'm a bit late to the whole 1 year anniversary thing. In case you hadn't noticed by the title of this video, we're going to be going over how the first year of the challenge has treated me. Things I could have done better, things I learned, things I did. Hopefully, y'all get some value out of it. I'm going to be telling y'all what I found through my personal experience and things of that nature. So, and you might be wondering, because I'm in the same couch from part zero, wearing the same fit as in part zero. And really, the only thing that you can see that's different about me is probably my haircut, unless I look a little bit more handsome. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, considering that I'm not even 1% of the way to $1 million at the time of this video, you might be wondering, just what have I done? Well, if you were to say that I didn't get too much done for the challenge, there would be some truth to that because, like I said, it's been a year and I haven't even gotten to 1% of the way to the challenge. From a logical standpoint, I should be at least 25% or $250,000. And yet, that simply isn't the case. But if I could put my first year of content creation into a phrase, I'd say sharpening the axe. And what I mean by that is I've just been able to build skills and get experiences that are foundations for success. So one of the things that I was able to build was just consistency, right? So for the 365 days of the year of me uploading, I made 361 parts to the challenge. And really, I made more videos than that with the whole eBay series spin-off, the trading videos I've been making and whatnot. So I'd say that's a pretty good ratio, 361 out of 365. But yeah, so I've just been able to do that. Obviously, I've gotten some more experience in content creation. But I won't lie, for a lot of the challenge, I was kind of just coasting along, or at least for the first year of the challenge, I was just coasting along. And I only recently changed my content style. I'll go more into that later. But yeah, really just uploading content. Pretty straightforward, right? And then the next thing that I really learned was communication skills. So through most of my life, I was really introverted, right? Like, I really didn't feel comfortable talking to people that I didn't actively know. But a couple of months into the challenge, while I was going through college, I obviously went through my first year of college, I came across this opportunity, or rather, the opportunity came across me in the form of a guy on Instagram who's now my friend. But I was offered a sales job, and it looked promising to me. And I trained for it for like 100+ hours, and it was door-to-door sales. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't think of a job more extroverted than door-to-door sales, considering that you're literally having to go and knock on strangers' doors to try and sell them something. So, maybe that's just me. Maybe y'all can think of something more extroverted. I'm not sure. Well, maybe like stand-up comedy, whatever. It's a pretty extroverted job, and it really got me out of my comfort zone. And it taught me how to communicate my ideas effectively. And that's a very important skill, not just for business, but life in general. And I'm also looking to build my communication skills here too with these videos. Trying to cut out the uhs and the ums. Of course, some may slip through here and there, but it's all a part of the process. And then, I feel myself becoming a better orator and a better communicator, which is good. The last of the major things that really changed about myself, or that I did over the first year of content creation, was just get closer with God, man. So it didn't take long when I was going through my first year of college for a church group to come across me in the gym. And then they invited me to come worship with them and come, be with them. And before joining them, I called myself a Christian. Before joining them. I, went to church every now and then. I didn't really read my Bible, but, being with them, it really taught me worship. And, I was able to be transformed by Christ. And, it was amazing. And it's helped me out in a multitude of ways. I feel a lot more at peace and a lot more fulfilled in my day to day life. And while I'm not with that church group, that specific church group, of course, I'm still going to church. And of course, I'm still communing with Christ. But I'm not with that church group anymore for various reasons I won't get into. But yeah, I mean, it's just brought a lot of positive things into my life, and I feel a lot closer with the Lord. So that's why, if y'all don't know Christ, I would encourage you to get to know him. You won't regret it. And of course, there are other things that I did along the way. I tried getting into reselling clothes on eBay. Unfortunately, that didn't go too well. The reason why I stopped, in case y'all are wondering, if y'all tuned into that series, it was like 5 episodes I think I made. But the reason why I stopped was just because my inventory wasn't moving. And the guy who I was learning it from, he would always go to these flea markets to get loads and loads of clothes, and there just were no flea markets around me. And then, yeah, really, it just wasn't moving. I had like 2 full 30-gallon containers worth of just dead stock. So I think I got to break even, but it just didn't work out for me. But at least I was able to try. And I was able to try out that sales job too, but it wasn't for me. Just the working conditions, things like that. But the people were great, and it was a great experience, and very important for me to develop those communication skills. I made tons of new friends throughout college, in my first year of college. Lots of good experiences in the residence hall. Me and a couple of the guys there formed a little, I guess, clique, you could call it. Very fun, very fun. That's about it. So now let's get into some things that I learned. So first, before we do that, let's go to a change of scenery. Yeah, so the main thing that I really learned over the past year of creating content here, I touched on it in one of my more recent videos, but it was really just intention. So, for example, for most of the first year of me creating content, all these flies, I'm actually at a park right now outside, and there are like some trash cans around, so that's why all the flies are around and why I'm sweating so much. But anyways, I was just putting out the same stuff over and over and over again, and I wasn't being intentional. I was just trying to put out videos to put out videos, right? They even have some ducks around here. And it was showing, right? Because going into the challenge and into making videos like this, I thought that by the end of year one, I would have like 50K followers between TikTok and Instagram. And by the end of the first year, I didn't even have 2,000 followers across all platforms. And I don't say this to equate, y'all as those who follow me or whatever. People watch the videos as just numbers, right? That's not fair to y'all. But I'm just using it as a KPI, key performance indicator of my content. And only recently, when I started switching up my content, did my channels really start taking off. It was because I was providing value. So yeah, just being intentional with everything, not just in creating content, but when it comes to my physique, because my physique had been stagnant for a while, in business as well. It definitely is a make or break type thing. I mean, it's really just like the age old saying, in that you reap what you sow. So the next thing that I really learned that stuck out to me from the first year was things most likely won't go exactly as you plan. You have to be able to learn, adapt, and do whatever you can to improve. So to give an example of that, like I just said, I thought my content would have taken off by now. That didn't quite happen as I expected it to going into the challenge. I thought that by the end of the first year, I'd be making at least like 10K a month. That didn't happen. I thought I would have mastered trading and wholesaling. That didn't happen. I tried different things along the way, like reselling clothes online. That didn't work out. My sales job, that didn't work out either. But you know what? Through all these experiences, I was able to learn different skills and different things, different assets that helped me do what I do now, and that I'm going to carry with me into the future. So the main point I'm trying to get at here, y'all, is that chances are that the more long-term your goal is, the less likely the steps you take to get to that goal are going to play out exactly as you think they would at the start. So you just have to be willing to adapt and change and grow and learn and apply wherever you can. It's absolutely crucial. And the final lesson that I really want to touch on that I got from the first year of experience is that people are a lot more willing to help you than you probably think. So to go back to the sales job that didn't quite work out for me, the reason why I got that job is because some random guy on Instagram saw one of my reels that I posted. If y'all haven't followed my Instagram, go ahead, check me out on that. Yeah, that duck is getting hunted down. Anyways, though, got a little bit sidetracked there. I don't know what that was all about. They're still chasing each other, by the way. Um, yeah. Anyways, lost my train of thought for a second. But yeah, the only reason why I was able to get that sales job was because of some random guy on Instagram. He slid up in my DMs and he was like, "Hey, I work for this sales company, and I know there are a ton of people in it that make a lot of money." And so he just gave me that opportunity because he wanted to help. And like I said, it didn't work out. And there were people in my team that were making multiple six figures a year from the job. Just wasn't for me. Through that experience, I was able to talk to hundreds of people in the week that I was there. And of course, I'm still friends with the guy. We don't really talk as much anymore, but we're still cool. And while I was out in Salt Lake for the job, at least the people in Salt Lake City were generally really nice. If I asked for water, they would give it to me. If I asked for snacks, they would give it to me. And when I had to use a restroom and I asked to use theirs, they would just let me use the restroom. And these are people who, prior to me knocking on their door and introducing myself, I was a complete stranger to. So what I'm trying to get at here with this point, y'all, is that you have to get over your fear of rejection, because like I said earlier in the video, I was an introvert for a long time. I'm still getting over that. And just, you have to get over that fear of being seen as weak or not wanting to ask for help, because on the other side of that is massive growth and improvement. You have to be willing to put yourself in these rooms and in these spaces where you can grow. And to do that, you're going to have to appear weak to these other people. I mean, not necessarily have to appear weak, but just not as strong, as ready, or as successful as you might want to appear that you would like to think you are in your head. So it takes some humility as well. But just know that when you do that, you can grow massively. Don't be afraid to seek help, not at all, because people are willing to help you more than you think. So as far as like how I want to move forward with the challenge, obviously I want to keep making videos, ideally every day for y'all. And I want to keep upping the quality, keep upping the value that gets given to y'all. I want to make more long form content like this. I want to go all in on trading, wholesaling, business, stuff like that. I want to keep putting myself in rooms where I can get better, meet new people, keep expanding my network and all that. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. So all that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all stick along for the ride. I hope y'all got something from it. And I especially hope y'all stay tuned, because within the next year or so, something big is going to be happening. I don't want to spoil it yet, but stick around and you'll find out. Now, I'm not really sure how to end this video except by saying, as always, stay tuned and see y'all next time. Peace.